Hi, everybody. My name's Karen Brace. I work with the Advancement Department. I'm so pleased you're here to share Giving Day with us today. It's a really special day to celebrate our GSA community and all that it is. And one thing that it has been this spring is generous. And not generous just in terms of funding, but in terms of the staff, some of whom are here today, who've really pitched in to support our students and to support each other. So I'm really pleased that you could join me, the three of you here, and you'll hear from their stories how instrumental each of them has been in making sure that our students have what they've needed so badly during the COVID-19 crisis. So Liz Moss is here, who's helped with the internet access for our students, and also Liffey Thorpe, who's made sure that all seniors can have yearbooks this year, and Rada Starkey, who I work with in advancement, who's worked with donors and gotten the word out about the emerging needs of students. So I'd like to pass it over to Liz now, and we are eager to hear how this internet access initiative came about.
Excellent. Thank you, Karen. I was originally asked by Tim to please coordinate with students, families, and teachers to make sure that no matter what, even without internet, students would have access to their work and their teachers. And in that research, I was able to establish who was struggling at home. I realized too that the free resources out there, the phone companies and internet companies who were offering free access to families didn't make it so easy after all. So sometimes it wasn't available in that neighborhood or that street. And even if it was, it might have been months before they could actually get access. So that wasn't really a viable option for our students. In the beginning, I coordinated with all of the teachers to get work on paper. And so we had all of the work that students needed placed in the vestibule. Parents and students could come and get that, and it was made into a little safe area for them. And we also had the ability to deliver work, which was great, to students through the Food for Thought program, because the school was doing deliveries of food. Tony and Todd were also able to grab that work and bring it to students, and once there could also pick up the work that they did and bring it back to the school. And so that was how we were navigating access to work before we could guarantee internet to the students. So in the meantime, that was difficult for a lot of families, and work was delayed, and the situation was causing some stress, fair amount of stress for the students because it wasn't really efficient. So I decided to look into a phone company carrier that would potentially be able to help us get internet hotspots for all of our students who needed it. And looking at the area and the stats, US Cellular seemed to be the best option. So I reached out to the education rep there, and she was able to give us a great deal on a monthly unlimited data and hotspot package on phones, and was able to get us some free iPhones donated from a larger client. So I negotiated that with her. And so very exciting, very quickly, we had enough phones for the students that I had discovered were in need, and I was able to talk with all of the teachers, make sure that we didn't miss anybody. They were working one-on-one, so they knew who was delayed and having a tough time. So I was able to put together a list, and we were able to get enough phones and provide those phones to each student, and now they're able to do their work online, do Zoom meetings, and submit their work through Google Classroom and all of those other methods that teachers are using now. So the students have been relieved and thrilled. Their stress has been reduced and they can do their work. And I've heard they've been very grateful for that. So it's exciting to have been part of being able to help students be able to do work effectively.
Well, thanks for all you've done, Liz. And I can imagine that some of the teachers were observing that students may have been less connected than they needed to be in terms of school. So that I'm sure that made a huge difference. And combined with the Food for Thought Fund and the Yearbook Initiative, Liffy, would you like to say a few words about that, the yearbooks?
Sure. It's a shorter story. It's in this period that's pretty much been, there aren't too many good things to say about what's been going on recently, but one good thing is it's sort of forced a lot of us to sort of rethink what we're doing and what's really important. And we were in a Zoom admin meeting a couple months ago and talking about ways to stay connected with our students and in particular to have them stay connected with us. And the idea came up, some of these students will not be getting yearbooks. That happens every year, but year after year, it's not something we've ever really paid attention to. And this year we did. And we thought, wait a minute, this is not the year for students to leave GSA without something tangible, physical, that connects them back to GSA for the rest of their lives. And so we thought this is really the time to make sure that every senior graduates with a yearbook. And so we went out and found people who were willing to support that. So this is the first year every senior at GSA will graduate with a yearbook.
It's a great thing. I'm pretty proud to be part of GSA as the community has turned out this way. Radha, wasn't it amazing how quickly those funds came in? We were really shocked.
Absolutely. So the 3 emerging needs that came up for the community and for our students, we shared those with the larger GSA community via social media, our weekly e-bulletin, and an email. And it was less than a week's time where we had fulfilled all 3 of those giving initiatives. And it was just mind-blowing. But I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. And what I'd also like to say is my colleagues here who spoke with you earlier, like amazing examples of how so many people in the GSA community came together to support our students. And there are countless other stories of our colleagues who went above and beyond to make sure that our kids felt connected, supported, and it really just gives me so much pride and so much hope for what we can accomplish as a community. So it's tremendous.
It sure is.
Yeah.
And when you speak of our other colleagues here at GSA, I think of Kristen LaPlante and her fellow chefs in the kitchen over there in the cafeteria who've been there right along, serving meals to the boarding students and ordering food and packing it up to be delivered to the students who may be experiencing food insecurity in our community. And there is a separate program here as part of Giving Day where Kristen's speaking about that effort. So, and there's Tim. Hi, Tim.
Perfect timing, Tim. You're joining the conversation.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, we've been talking about the emerging needs of the students and specifically the Internet Access Initiative and the Yearbook Initiative. And Radha's outlined a little bit about the generosity and the speed with which our community turned out to support the emerging needs of our students. I'm not sure how much people really know about the Food for Thought Fund. And I was thinking maybe you could say, as you've launched into our program here, and a perfect time, perhaps you could say a few words about Food for Thought.
Sure. So I think it was my first year at GSA, a faculty member came to me to say, I've noticed this student and the student never eats lunch, and I'm a little worried that they can't afford lunch and they don't have enough food at home. And that was the start of really starting to look into in earnest the need amongst our student body for lunch assistance and how many were in some sort of food insecurity. And we had a program of assistance already in place, but it was quite modest because we didn't have the funds for it to be more so. And then in the fall of 2017, Dottie Hayes and her grandmother, Anna Semler, who I knew through something else, came to say that Dottie wanted to start a fund that she wanted to call the Food for Thought Fund in order to provide funds so that no child would need to go hungry while at school during the school day, and provide assistance for purchasing lunch through a really excellent lunch program. They use a lot of local food. They're generous portions, very nutritious. And that was really the start of it. And over the next 4 to 6 months, Dottie and her daughters in particular put together the fund, the terms, the goals they had for it, and started it with a very, very, very generous gift to be part of our endowment, so it would last forever, and the revenue interest from that to provide funds each year to help with lunch assistance. Since then, we've had a number of very generous donations to the fund, both, again, the endowed fund, including a $50,000 gift from one of our Chinese families and multiple others, and also funds that come in not for the endowment, but to be spent each year. And because of that, we've been able to expand the number of students to whom we provide assistance a great deal. And then, of course, this year, when school went out, not only were the students who had faced insecurity having challenges, even more families, because of the impact on the economy around here of the pandemic, the need has only grown. And because of the Food for Thought Fund and the generosity started with Dottie, but supplemented by many, many people this year, we've been able to provide food every week for, it varies a bit, so I'm going to say about 30 families. The number is slowly growing, and our plan is to continue to provide food. It goes home every week. As I said, we deliver it or it gets picked up all the way through the summer as long as funds last. So I want to thank everyone who has so generously given, and if providing food for kids interests you, there's lots of ways that you might help to do that. Most easiest through our website. And it's one of the ways that as a town academy, we can really partner with our communities to serve our kids and their families. So that's, in a nutshell, the Food for Thought program.
And what a great topic for Giving Day.
Yes, indeed.
So that certainly represents the GSA community. Well, thanks all of you. It's great to talk about, how much the community's done, the people who donate, the people who deliver food, and those who prepare the food, and you all who've worked to make sure that the students have the internet access they need and yearbooks so that no seniors left out of that. And thank you, Radha, too, for getting the word out and for encouraging everybody to participate. So it's a pretty awesome thing that GSA's done.
Yeah, it's incredibly gratifying to see how people have rallied around these needs in a time when it's clear that we all need each other. So thanks, everybody.
Thank you.